Hello and welcome to this special edition of The Hub. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing. First of all, on behalf of our whole team, we want to wish you a very happy Chinese New Year. We wish you luck, health, and happiness in the year of the rabbit. Hi there. Chunjie, Spring Festival, of course, is the most important holiday of the year here in China and across many parts of Asia. That gives us a chance to reset, rethink, and of course, to restart. Remember the saying, old is gold? So let's start by rewinding, going down the memory lane to revisit the most memorable moments of the Hub in the past year with me.
Hello there and welcome to The Hub. I'm Wang Guan in Beijing.
Hi there and welcome to this special edition of The Hub on CGTN. I'm Wang Guan. Hello and welcome to this episode of The Hub on CGTN. I'm Wang Guan. And what better place to be than right here at the site of the Winter Olympics. Hello guys. So in a way, Mr. President, you were one of the trailblazers of Sino-Philippines relations, even at 16 years young.
This has been something that I have always watched with great interest. For the simple reason is I want to know.
You know this, Mr. Prime Minister, that in China we call you Batia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You like that characterization?
I think it's, they call it Batai. Am I right?
Yeah, Batia.
That's Iron Brother. We are Iron Brothers.
Professor Larius, how do you look at the role, the importance of American narratives promoted by, either the military-industrial complex or by its mainstream media or by the Pentagon, and the role of that to America's wars overseas through the decades?
The when is now.
I mean, when you think about the time it took to cross this 100 million mark, that is pretty remarkable. Hi Anna, welcome to The Hub on CGTN. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. I picked up a lot of new language skills. I also picked up a lot of...
you did. We saw the Douyin videos. Now, among all our wonderful guests last year, there's someone who left a mark not only on us, but on 30 countries. Luke Grenfell-Shaw, who was diagnosed with cancer, went on a mammoth cycling challenge covering 30,000 kilometers and 30 countries on 3 wheels. The original plan was, of course, to cycle from Bristol in the UK to Beijing, China. But at that time, the dream remained unfulfilled due to COVID-19 restrictions. But now, with China lifting the barriers on traveling, as many people are resuming their dreams and their traveling schedules, will Luke too finally realize his? Luke, welcome back to The Hub on CGTN. So good to see you again.
Angguan, it's awesome to be here and Happy New Year.
Happy Lunar New Year. How are you going to celebrate? Are you guys celebrating in the UK?
I mean, the celebrations are a bit more muted here than in China, obviously. So what I'm really hoping is to get out to China quite soon. And I'm probably not going to make it out for New Year, of course, but I think that's when the journey will really begin.
But you can try to hit here maybe during spring or summer, which are honestly the best of times here in the north.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's going to be a lot warmer up in Beijing, isn't it? So yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
So you do have plans to finally come over here. I know you cycled through the Eurasia continent. You couldn't come over here to China to finish your journey, your dream due to COVID. And now China, of course, reopened its borders by lifting virtually all of its travel restrictions. How do you feel about all this?
It's a great question. Actually, what I want to do is something a bit different. Because what I want to do now is have the focus being China. Before, China was the endpoint and the destination. Well, now China is going to be the real focus of the trip. I can go through Shenzhen, Yunnan, Sichuan, so many different cities, and finish in Beijing. So for me, this will now be an exploration through so much more of China rather than simply trying to get to Beijing.
You know, Luke, when you first started the cycling journey in 2020, you attracted over 800 followers. I mean, for real, right? Not followers on Instagram, but real followers following you throughout this journey. How did you make that happen?
Yeah, so that's one of the really special things about this trip is that it's on a tandem bike. So it's on a two-person bike. And so these followers, as you say, they're people who literally joined me on the back of my bike and cycled with me. And the reason for that is because when I was diagnosed with cancer and I had this dream of cycling from Bristol to Beijing, I was going to do that with my brother John. And he died. He had a mountaineering accident and he died before the start of the trip. And so I wanted to be able to share this journey with people that I met along the way. And so for me, an integral part of this trip has always been about bringing other people on board. And so, yeah, the followers, yes, there's Instagram and there'll be Little Red Book and there'll be WeChat, but like the real followers are the people that I meet on the ground. And that's what I'm really hoping to do in China, is bring so many people on the bike with me. And that's why I want to be cycling in Beijing and bringing as many people as I can to sort of celebrate life.
Great. So looking back to the year 2022, you have a lot to juggle. On one hand, you have to make sure that you're healthy. You go back to have health checkups regularly, routinely. By the way, how are you doing, man? How are you doing recently? You went back to the hospital and the checkup result was out.
Yeah, every time I have results, it's like heart and mouth moment because I just don't know what's going to happen. But just before Christmas, I got my scan results back and they were good. So it's amazing news. I'm still here. I'm still alive.
Yeah, of course. That was not what the doctor said, right? They had much dire predictions for what your health will be capable of doing, but you're just exceeding expectations, I would say.
Yeah, massively. So when I was diagnosed, it was stage 4 cancer, but it was a very rare and very aggressive one. And it's basically not the sort that they can treat, or they don't think chances of treating it successfully are minimal. And so, to be honest, I was diagnosed in June 2018. I don't think anyone expected me to get to Christmas. And even when I got to the start line of the cycle ride in Bristol 2020, my mum told her friends, because my mum's friends were like, Jenny, are you excited to see Luke in Beijing? See him at the end of the trip. And she just thought, like, they don't understand. Like, Luke's not going to get to Beijing because the cancer will kill him first.
But you're beating the odds. And you cycle through Eurasia, and now look at you. Look at where you are. The borders are reopened, and chances are you're going to come to Beijing, China to fulfill that dream.
Exactly. And I'm not only beating the odds, but I've got a message that I'm so passionate about sharing, of like showing what you can do with cancer and showing that you can help yourself through exercise, through positive thinking. And you can still go and live your dreams. And so what I'm really excited to do when I'm going through China is to partner with local hospitals or local sports organizations, local cycle clubs, and really build something together, because that's what this ride has always been. It's been something built with the people that I've met in every country I've been through, whether that was Uzbekistan or India. I was joined by a 17-year-old guy in India who had never been cycling. And he was a bit overweight. He wasn't a sports person, but he cycled halfway across India with me. Wow. And at the end of that, I discovered he'd been diagnosed with cancer too. And like, that is really exciting. And I know that that is going to also be possible in China, to share other people's stories.
I'm sure many people would be interested, would be passionate about joining you through this journey. What would be your message or messages to others as a cancer survivor?
Yeah, as someone who's gone through cancer, my message is that you can't control whether you've got cancer or not, but you can control your response to it. And this is advice that my dad gave me on the day that I was diagnosed. He said, Luke, this is the worst thing I can imagine as your father. But like, I can't control whether you got cancer or not. You might only have 3 months left to live. So what are you going to do in those 3 months? How are you going to make those the best 3 months ever? And even though I'm so lucky to have 4 years since then, I'm still asking myself, well, what can I do in the time? And so for anyone who's got cancer, what can you do in the time that you have to make it the most enjoyable, the most fulfilling time possible? And also, what can you do to just try and boost your odds? And for me, exercise was massively that.
Yeah, how did you boost your odds? Tell us about it. I guess many wanted to ask you this question. How did you boost your odds as a cancer
How did I
survivor?
boost my odds? Okay, this is a great question. I was desperate, like anyone is, and I was like, I will do anything. And I know I'm a sports person. Like, I do elite level running. I've done a lot of cycling, of course. And I know that exercise is a massive boost on your body. It makes you stronger. Yeah. It boosts the efficacy of chemotherapy. It boosts your mood. So I knew that by exercising, and I was cycling in hospital, I was going for walks, that actually increases not only your body's strength to deal with chemotherapy, but it also increases the efficacy, how effective the chemotherapy is itself. So that's massive. And then the other thing I really focused on was diet, and trying to cut out processed sugar, just junk food in general, lots of vegetables, lots of beans, pulses, tofu. That's why I'm after the stinky tofu. Got to get my tofu fix, even in Beijing.
Be careful when you come over here. Some food can be really oily and sweet and salty, but you'll be fine. Go ahead.
So yeah, no, so diet is hugely important as well. And then I think for me, the third thing that I only came to realize later was the importance of my family and friends in giving me that moral support through that time. I wasn't that easy to be around, but they really worked very hard to support me and make things happen. So the week I was diagnosed, I sent a message on Facebook to my friends, and I said, look, this is what's happened. I would just love to see you. And I realized at that point, these are the people I wanted to see most of all in the world. And they were amazing because everyone came, they canceled their weekend plans. They came down to Bristol and we had an amazing time together.
Now, the Lunar New Year is coming, the Year of the Rabbit. If you can see the rabbit I'm holding. The Year of Rabbit, I think people associate the Year of the Rabbit with peace, prosperity, really a peace of mind. You know, that is really gold, and that can be really rare these days in this day and age. What would be your messages to the Chinese audience for the Year of the Rabbit?
We're coming up into the Year of the Rabbit, the new year. It's a time for celebration. It's the Spring Festival. Everyone around China has gone through an incredibly torrid last few years, very tough. Now is the chance to be with your family, be with your friends, reconnect. Well, value that time, value those bonds, value that friendship, because that is the most important thing. So that is what I would say to everyone watching in China. You know, make the most of these coming days in the Spring Festival, and these are the most important people you're ever going to have in your life.
Luke Grenfell Shaw, thank you so much. We're sending you lots of love. Lots of best wishes, lots of prayers. Keep on whatever you're doing. You're doing great. Hopefully, we'll have you back on our show again, and we'll check back with you regularly.
I'm looking forward to it, and maybe next time I'll be in Beijing.
We're all looking forward to reuniting with our families during this very special occasion that is the best part of the Lunar New Year, the Spring Festival. Have your loved ones around you and chill out. What else can you ask for? Now, the other day, I watched a video that really struck a chord in my heart. Berno from Turkey met her husband Dahu in China. But due to COVID, she hasn't been back to Turkey and see her family for many years, until her husband bought tickets to Turkey to her complete surprise.
Hello，夏姐，你好，大胡，你们好。
Hello，你好，你好，
你好。
Hello，Milo。Milo
来亲亲，
亲
啊，
叔叔，
Can you speak it? How old is he? Is it he or she?
He's a baby boy. He is 18 months old.
Ah, he's 8 months.
Yeah.
My son over there, my son is 10 month old.
10 months old.
Wow.
It's very difficult times.
They're grow up. I recommend you
Sleepless
to
nights.
and videos. They're gonna grow up so fast.
So thank you for doing this. What a beautiful family. Maybe, Xiajie, can you start by telling us a bit about your family?
Yeah, of course. So I have a big, lovely family. I actually have two brothers and one sister. If I briefly introduce my family, we support and love each other unconditionally. So I really feel super lucky to have them. And I also strongly believe my family culture is actually very, very same with Chinese family culture, which I also often hear it from my Chinese friends.
夏姐，我们看到你的抖音了 which was very impressive on a 抖音 where basically you gave a big surprise to your mom and dad. Who had that idea of flying back to Turkey secretly? What was it like? Tell us a bit about that.
So I haven't gone back home for 3 years, and of course I really miss them, and it was kind of a little bit impossible for us to go back. But my husband know that like I was really miserable about that, and he made a huge surprise for me, and he made it. I was just beyond happy.
That's true love. That's love, isn't it? Like when you guys basically you can translate for them if you don't mind, Xiajie. So when the mom didn't know that you were coming back, right?
Yeah, my mom
If you
didn't.
look at the videos.
At the family, they all know it, so it was a huge surprise for her.
So can you ask mom what was it like? How she felt at that moment?
Sana sürpriz yapıp geldim ya kapıda beni ilk gördüğün zaman ne hissettin onu soruyor.
Çok heyecanlıdı. Çok sevindi.
Like almost every day, she
Dünyalar
look
benim
at
oldu.
my face and still
A kiss is worth 1,000 words.
yeah, and she's like, oh my god, my little baby is home. I can't still believe. And just now what she told me, like she was super excited and she didn't believe in her eyes I was there, and she was just shocked.
Sıra dünyalar benim oldu.
She was just super happy.
So how does the parents think about the son-in-law from China?
They just love him so much. I think so. They're
Milo, I'm sorry, Milo. I know it's difficult for 8-month-old.
They don't work right now. They're retired. So my parents, they are retired. They don't really work, and right now they are all hobbies, everything. Like they are all work. It's just my baby. They just love each other so much, and I feel like they are just like the best shondi. Like they are like very good dudes. And my mother is like Chinese mother. Always always from his after him, just try to feed him, just afraid he's cold, like look at us, like what's here and what he wears. This is
wow.
what my mother make him wear like this much.
Very attentive grandma. And then is there any culture shock? I mean, I saw your husband cooking the big chicken plate, that party, for your parents. The dad was not a big fan apparently, but the mom tried it, right? How are they getting along? I mean, is there any culture shock?
To be honest, I think Turkey is also sort of Asian country. Like, so Turkey is in also Europe, also in Asia.
Milo, you agreed, right? Turkey is Asia. Okay, go ahead, Xiajie.
So I think Turkish people can adapt easily, like European culture, also Asian culture. I think I see myself more Asian. To be honest, to be in China, I also feel myself super comfortable. I could easily understand and relate myself to Chinese culture. I feel the same. I think Dao is also same here. But of course, especially for the Chinese food, my parents, because of their age, they have some like their own judgments. Like they only eat Turkish food their whole life, so they were like a little bit yeah. But the funny point is that like the more they eat Chinese food, they just love it more, and they just want to eat more Chinese food. So far their favorite food is hogo.
Yeah, just to your parents, just think of the big chicken plate in there. Think of it as kebabs, and that way it'll come down easier for dad.
Yeah.
So Dahu, tell us a bit about how you met your wife now, and now, oh, congratulations, by the way, you're having the second baby, right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
amazing.
the funny thing is my parents, they don't know yet, and they don't, because they don't speak.
Translate.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just laughing.
They don't speak English, so we can
Because-
talking about
Because
that.
baby is too little, and like I don't want to make them like to just give it too much attention, you know. So right
Man, you
now-
guys have way too many secrets. I mean, coming back, not letting them know and stuff. You guys met in China, right?
Yes, 浙江 library。然后我觉得，准确的说，我随便说啊，就是
随便说
把我对一生就去过那么几次图书馆啊，然后难得去一次就遇到了一个老婆。对，我们就是偶遇，就是在这样图书馆，然后呢，在图书馆里边有见一次，然后出来呢又见到他。那我说就蛮有缘分嘛，那我说那我们就可以去西湖去逛一逛啊，杭州嘛，很多这种我们中国的名胜古迹，就带他去逛啊什么。后来我们聊呢，就觉得聊得特别的来，我们属于一见钟情的那种。
So I'm gonna ask you guys the same question, Dahu, starting with you. What did you see in her?
我觉得我老婆就是乐观，对，乐观这个是最吸引我，因为我们相识啊，就是其实在那一段时间，其实我整个的事业状态是整个处于一个偏低谷的一个状态，但是呢，他是一直包括我们相爱，包括后来结婚，整一个都特别的包容，特别的在鼓励我啊，我觉得他就像一束光一样的打在我的身上。很难想象如果没有他我会怎么样，但是因为有了他，也是因为他的爱，说实话，就是一步一步让我，爬了起来，对，就是这样。所以我觉得他身上最打动我的就是乐观这个点。
Xia, did you hear that? I mean, I was touched. That's very touching. So what did you, same question, what did you see in him?
I think like I would have a lot of answers for that, but the first thing comes to my mind is almost every day my husband will make me feel like he loves me so much, not only by words, also by actions. So I think it is, I feel super lucky to have him, because we are gonna have like the whole life together, and to have someone like him, it is just my luck.
Great. I'll keep it short. I know that it's very hard to juggle the kid and the interview on television here. So how do you guys feel about, maybe Xia, you can answer this question. How do you guys feel about the opening of China, you know, the canceling, the lifting of quarantine and travel restrictions, now that they can, I assume, can travel back and forth more freely?
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, because after that video coming back home, I got so much messages from my followers that they have also similar story with mine, which is super touching and really sad. But right now I also hear from that they also like go to see their family. This is amazing. I'm really happy. Like the economically also it is much convenient right now to travel. It is just like super good news for us, and we hope to go to China very soon this year. It is also one of my aim for this year.
This question will go to everybody. If you don't mind translating for your parents. Starting from Xiajie, what is your New Year resolution for the year 2023?
For 2023, I'm expecting a baby, so it represents for me reborn and awareness. So I cannot wait to have my baby in my arms. And I'm so happy that like a lot of people gonna see their family also this year. I just wish everyone with their beloved ones with a lot of laughter and joy.
Okay, how about your parents? Dad,
Peki
haven't
baba,
spoken.
2023'ten beklentin ne? Sen de cevabını hazırlayabilirsin.
Bütün dünyaya barış ve özgürlük gelmesini istiyorum.
Wish peace
Wishes?
all over the world.
Vallahi ben de aynısını
Wow.
dedim
Mom?
diyeyim.
My mom,
Bana
my
dedim
mom,
aynısını
my
söyleyeyim.
mom, she told me she just want to say the same thing. But my
Altından
father stole
aldı,
it.
altından aldı.
Whatever his father says is correct. 大胡，
我的话呢，我最重要的还是宝宝吧，对，还是宝宝，对，比较期待这个宝宝的一个来临，对，这个是我觉得我们今年最重要的一件事情。
our best wishes for baby number 2, smooth delivery, be healthy, be fit, be happy, and guess what? Having number 2 is not easy, but it's all gonna be worth it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be even better. 谢谢夏姐，谢谢爸爸，谢谢妈妈 and thank you, Dahu. Thank you all for being here, and Happy New Year! Happy New Year for the year of the rabbit. Bye.
Sizleri
Bye.
seviyoruz.
That's all we have for this special edition of The Hub on CGTN. Before we leave, we want to thank you once again for all your support throughout the year. Thank you. We want to wish you and your loved ones a very happy new year of the rabbit. Hopefully, the year of the rabbit will bring a lot of peace and prosperity and joy and happiness to you and your loved ones. That will do it. Thank you so much. I'm Wang Wei in Beijing, and I'll see you again soon.